Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for stopping in. I almost said for clocking in, but this is not a job that you can clock into. Thank you so much for being here. As today we return to Thomas Bergersen, we're going to listen to this track, Cruising in Space. This is coming off of the album Humanity, Chapter 4, which was released in 2021. We are checking this out because it was suggested. This was sponsored by Anonymous. So Anonymous, thank you so much for the recommendation, for sending the request. Now, it says Anonymous on the Buy Me a Coffee, although you did make a comment as well on the YouTube channel that you were going to suggest this track. But because it says Anonymous, I don't want to call you out in case you wanted to remain anonymous, even though you made a YouTube comment before. So, but either way, thank you. Either way, thank you. Let us dive into a little bit more here. We explored a little bit with the previous track we had listened to from Bergersen, which was Immortal, and we kind of dove around a little bit there. I'm curious to see if this track is going to remain in the style that it seems like a decent amount of the music is from him, in that kind of epic, big, grandiose kind of style, or if this is going to be something perhaps opposite or somewhere in between. There is one way to find out, so let's go ahead and do so now. Here we go, Cruising in Space. And this also features the same vocalist that we had heard previously, and I apologize if I mispronounced her name, Mrithi Soldvet. Sounds like it's building up to that epic style. Okay, now it's symphonic metal. Where's Floor when you need her? I like those hits. Looks like there's a synth behind her voice there. That is a vocal riff. Seeing the synth right behind it. That's pretty fun. That sounds like really fun. Now that's heavy. I love how the keys are mingled in here. What a note. That's hitting like a theremin kind of sound. What a great return that is. She's ripping there. I love that synth, man. What an adventure. What a piece of music that is. Okay, we've only heard 2 tracks from Thomas Bergersen. Can I tell you, I really like this track a lot more than the previous one. The previous one was cool, no doubt. But this one felt like an adventure. This one felt like a soaring journey of discovery. This one had big highs, big grandiose moments, and it was filled with like this majesty as well. I really like how in the beginning, like we start off kind of in a similar pattern drum wise as the previous track I listened to, but like it just expanded and grew into so much more. And I felt like this track definitely leaned towards kind of what I had said before in the previous track, like having that symphonic metal kind of sound. Here, yeah, I mean, especially with the guitar now involved, you know, we definitely get that a lot more, but never losing the characterization of, from what I can tell, is the music performed and composed from Bergersen. I love the synth in here. I love the tone of it. I love the style of it. I love the way he plays it. I like the leads. I like the solos. I like it all. The synth is honestly probably my favorite part of this track, alongside with the vocals from Miss Solveig. I love that it's almost like a space diva, a cosmic performer. The way that she, that rise and the fall and cascade right after it is really euphoric and satisfying to listen to. This is a cool build 'em up kind of track. I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna really quickly. I'm just curious about something. Okay, this is 7 minutes. It's one of the longer tracks on the album. I want to see, I'm not going to listen to the full song, but I want to see what the following track, how it comes off of this one. Because the following track, in my opinion, should be something a little softer, something to kind of pull us down. The ashes after the fire, because this was absolutely an inferno. I'm really curious to see just how Made of Air kind of follows up. Definitely starting off in the right place. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. Yeah. And no matter where that track goes from that point forward, whether it stays in something more soft and ethereal or eventually builds back up into something big and epic, the way that it's come off of the previous track, it's recreating itself from those ashes. And I think that that makes a really good listen when you're going through the album, when you're going through context, right? You had a 7-minute, almost 8, adventurous, epic, big track. Pull it back down a little bit. Bring it back down to something subtle. And I love how those keys there, just like little raindrops after the storm there. Okay, getting back, however, to Cruising in Space. Let's get back to this. The drums are kind of starting off in that kind of big, epic, kind of ritualistic kind of way. But it's not very long before we just get into it, man. Got the hits. I love the hits. And I love the synth behind her voice and how they both ride each other. And then that riff. And that is just such a cool way to kind of bring in the tide in that moment. It feels like the waves are finally crashing against the rocks. And when everyone is let loose at that particular point, when the rhythm has established itself and no longer doing the intro hits, we're now into the song. I like how it is the synth. It is Miss Solvet's voice. And it is the guitar that kind of take the lead from that particular moment. It feels like a stampede of horses just right out the gate. And can I tell you, some of you are going to think that I'm saying something negative, but this is not negative at all. While some people have a negative opinion of the word I'm going to use, but this kind of sounds like a pop song in this style. And what I mean is that pop, what is pop? Pop is something, it could be any genre, but pop is something that's catchy. It has a certain kind of formula to it. And I think that it makes, splashes on radio, streaming services, wherever music listeners are going. I think that this hits a similar thing in the sense that the melodies and the way that it's structured is incredibly catchy. Solvet's vocals and that melody acts as a chorus, and with some of those returning moments. Later on, you have a reprise here as it comes back into it, right here. This time with extra accoutrement to come in and make it more full and dense and that much more powerful. The wave has become a tidal wave. It's now a deluge of epic proportions. So it's just really cool how the track moves through those certain places, and still never loses sight of I think just making a cool song. If I can find that synth, man. There's the keys behind it. I love that, and the big horns. But I want to find that synth solo. Where was that? There's a little bit of it. That just sounds good. That just sounds good to me. I love that tone. I love that it just fits into the music so well. And it's really a nice marriage between the synthetic, and I mean like synths and keyboards and things like that, and of course the orchestral. And really merging these two together into something really, really great to listen to. Now, there obviously weren't lyrics to pull up, but I did pull up Thomas Bergersen's website here directly. And looking as he's talking about each track here, Cruising in Space, a fun symphonic metal journey featuring Marithi Solvet. It is the most challenging track she has ever had to sing on. As I wrote the lead part originally with a synth sound, and after recording the orchestra for the track, I had the idea to send her the track and see if there was any way she could possibly reach those high notes. I like that. I like the idea of sending it to her and just saying, just see if you can try it. I'm not necessarily expecting magic, but let's see what you can do. Unbelievably, she did work that magic. And so what we ended up with is a sort of duet between an alien, sung by Marithi, and a futuristic synthesizer. Of course, backing a full orchestra, choir, guitars, drums, whatever else I could fit and not fit into it. Yeah, because the music, like production wise, this is not late era talk. This is full massive onslaught of mixing and mastering and putting in every single instrument and even those, as he says, he couldn't fit in. But uh, it works for this particular kind of sound. I think it sounds incredible. That's really, really awesome. That's a great listen. Let me know, however, what you guys thought of it, perhaps in the comments down below. That one's working, or that one's working. Let me know your thoughts down there. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for stopping on in. Anonymous, even though I know you are. Thank you so much for the request as well. I appreciate that. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you had a good time with this, and I will see you all next time. Bye.